It's readily available, and it's inexpensive in comparison to the other ones. Can and will irritate your skin. Always wear a mask and gloves when installing it. Open cell foam and closed cell foam. So these are your spray foams that we're talking about. You guys know the difference between the different types of spray foam? So your open cell foam, they call it half-pound spray foam. It's a rigid foam insulation. It consists of lots of air bubbles packed tightly together and provides a great air seal. So your open cell foam, it's breathable. So the open cell foam, when you spray it on, it's a two-step process. So you spray on your insulation, and then you also spray on a liquid vapor barrier as well. So it's a two-step process. Open cell foam is used in tons of different applications. And then you have closed cell foam, it's called 2 pound. So you have half pound and 2 pound. There may be questions about the different types of spray foam. So I can put that in here too. I'm going to send this to you guys as well. Half pound and 2 pound. I believe the half pound and 2 pound is the amount of material in a certain area of it. You don't really need to know that, but that's what they call it. So closed cell foam is a high density rigid foam applied with a sprayer. Great R value. This is the highest R value per inch you can get for insulations. And this one, it's not open cell. So when I say open cell and closed cell, say for example you have a ceiling that's sprayed with open cell foam and water, you get a leak on the top, water will eventually work its way through because it's open. Closed cell, it's a complete hard seal. So open cell foam is really, really hard spray foam when it dries. It's really, really challenging to remove. Your open cell is a lot softer. Okay? And again, the thing to know with open cell versus 2 cell is open cell, it's a 2-step process. You install the foam first, and then there's a second layer, it's a vapor barrier. Your closed cell is all in one. Rock wool, similar to fiberglass, comes in vats. It's made with slag, which is a byproduct of the steel industry, as well as recycled stones and rocks. So rock wool, there's different types, so rock wool is your main one. Extremely fire and moisture resistant and very high recycled content. And then polyiso board. It's a rigid insulation board and can be purchased in 4x8 sheets. Performs well per inch, and it's just like your prefab rigid foam board. Polyiso board, it's the one. I don't know if you guys see it here. It has 2 layers of black on each side of it, and it's like a very dense foam in the middle. 2 layers of black paper. It's just an image of what some common types look like here, just so you have an idea. Open cell foam in a 2x6 wall gives you R20. I think it's a 2x4 wall, 2x6. Is it that R19? It's a 2x4.
R18 is probably 2x4 because
2x4 wall, yeah.
R22 is
2x6, so your fiberglass, yeah. So you have R19, so say this is a 2x4 wall.
Yeah.
You can see the difference in the R values.
Yeah.
So cellulose gives you an R21, open cell foam gives you R22, and closed cell gives you R32.
So the open cell, is that like the stuff you get in the can? Or the closed cell?
It's similar, yeah. Closed cell you don't get in the can.
Okay.
Stuff in the can, it's not really rated, the stuff you get in the can for around windows and doors.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not like a rated styrofoam.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you need to get ones that are rated for your walls.
For your wall.
There is DIY systems that you can get, with the two nifts. You don't really need to know
That
that.
closed cell, they're starting using a lot of basements now.
So then that can's not really either, right?
I don't want to say the can is probably more similar to your open cell foam.
Okay.
You would never really use that to fill up a wall cavity.
No, I was just wondering if
But
it was
it's
based,
very similar consistency.
I wouldn't use it to fill up a cavity, but
Yeah.
I was just wondering.
The closed cell, it's very dense.
Yeah,
You know what I
we
mean?
use it in a lot of our houses, like any cantilevers.
Yeah.
Other than the houses we do. They
Yeah,
spray
you can
them
spray
with
them all.
It sucks that dense stuff sucks to run piping
So hard to
through
spray
after
it?
it's
Yeah,
in.
after, yeah.
I did.
How do you spray it in there?
The truck that comes in, they
Oh,
turf everything
okay,
off,
oh,
and
okay.
you can't even be in the house because there's so much chemicals. It has to be like 24 hours before anybody can go.
Yeah.
And then there's a chance too, it could smell like rotten fish forever.
Forever.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's
every once in a while if their chemicals are slightly off.
There's a lot, because it's something that kind of grew very quick and it wasn't standardized. You had a lot of guys installing it that weren't maintaining their equipment or their product
Okay.
properly. So you hear, like I've read online so many horror stories. They go in, they spray a whole house, family moves in and the family's just sick.
Really?
They're like just really, really sick, terrible smells, because they don't do it correctly and it doesn't set up to be, like when it sets up, it's essentially inert, so it's like, it's biologically inert so that it's not off gas, you know, it will off gas a little bit,
Yeah.
but if it's not set up correctly and you don't have the right installation, then it never sets up and it's consistent, just like this nasty chemical in the wall. You know what I mean?
We built a mobile air quality monitoring station for a gas company, and it was a trailer probably a bit longer than this room and half as wide. And so the whole thing got framed out on the inside, and then we installed all the piping, and there was massive amounts of tubing. They had a $500,000 hydrogen creator in the back of it, and it apparently needed piles of tubing, but at the very end one of the tubes was slightly off, and it was the foam that got between and pushed it to the side. So we had to drill out all of the foam that went right through there, and yeah, it was ridiculous.
Nasty stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. So I'd say that's pretty much all you need to know about installation systems. Again, there may be questions on like area of walls. Again, if there's, you know, how much insulation do you need in a wall that's, you know, X times X size, and then they give you like a size per, so there'd be different variations of those types of questions.
So when you.
They may
yeah,
ask you to distinguish, you know, the different types.
That
So
would
they have
turn
questions
into
around the different
a
types.
volume equation then if it was spraying it in, right? It'd be a volume, filling that, would it?
Yeah, so yeah,
Yeah,
they could have volume
They give
questions
you
as well, yeah,
the
100%.
pounds or
Any
whatever.
types of them, like, any questions on volume, like one of the practice exams we have, they ask you about the volume of a, you know, like a water storage tank,
Yeah,
like a circle water storage tank. It's all the same equation.
yeah, because
mean, it's
it's
all-
liquid, right? Now
all-
solid is still be different, like if you're using bad insulation would be different.
Well,
Would it? Yeah, how many bats?
well, yeah, they wouldn't ask you like the amount of volume of bats you would need in a wall.
Yeah, exactly,
you know
that's what I'm
I mean?
saying, so that's,
because
you
you-
have
that
to
would be
know,
area.
remember.
If
kind of
they
that.
ask you that, yeah, exactly.
The cellulose, is that common? Like, do people ever use that, or is that something from the past?
I'd say it still gets used in
Okay.
Vancouver anyway,
In attics.
in attic,
Yeah,
mostly in
attic-
attic spaces,
attics,
yeah.
Oh, I see.
Like it's still in attic spaces.
Yeah, just because I'd never seen it. I guess I probably saw it on attics, but it just, you know, when you tear apart a wall in any modern house, you're just gonna find
To find bats in there, yeah. Like, it's definitely not one of the most common, but I'd say in attics it gets used, but it also gets used a lot in retrofit, like retrofitting, energy upgrading. So if say you have like a double wall system, for like the double wall systems we were talking about, energy efficient homes.
Yeah,
You could do cellulose in that wall cavity, so like that's where it would get used, and it does a better job. Instead of using like a highly chemical product like spray foam, you can use
Yeah.
cellulose, which is essentially way less chemicals and way healthier.
The stuff that comes in like a big bag and it's loose and you just stuff it in.
Okay?
okay then. And you're sending us that, right?
Yeah.
You're a good man.
Yeah, give him another coat.
They're good, man. Yeah, that's why I didn't give you one, you didn't want them all.
Thanks for that. Appreciate it.
My wife makes the same ones.
Yeah, they're
Sticks
good.
off.
I never had one of those before. Wait till the hash kicks in, I mean, no.
Yeah, he's from
He's
a little early today.
surprising.
Give that idea. So stain, lacquer, and varnishes. There may be questions on this in regards to finishing of wood. So we go into the difference between stains, lacquers, and varnishes. So what stain does? Wood in its natural state is somewhat benign. Stain is the first step you can take to bring out your wood's beauty. Complex hidden grain patterns lie under the surface, and they might never be found without the use of stain. It adds definition and color. This,
Oh,
we're pretty much done, like besides the renovation, we're pretty much done with
okay,
it.
no, I was just wondering what I was looking for. Cause I got these blanked out pages every now and then, I don't got nothing on them.
Good question.
Yeah, there's a
Well,
lot.
I can't believe they didn't check that before they sent it out to you guys, it drives me nuts.
I think he is.
If you just send it to me, we can send you the copy pages that you.
I got everything marked in this book, ain't going nowhere.
No, I mean like.
Oh, the
page
page
number
number.
pages, just let us
Oh,
know
okay.
and then we'll send it to you.
No, but you wanted to look back and you get it.
Put that on the feedback, we're gonna give you guys feedback sheets, to say like, you know, proper pages would be nice.
Oh, okay.
Water-based and solvent-based stains. Water or solvent-based stain is a mixture of water and pigment, or solvents and pigment. When it's applied to wood, the solvents or water evaporate, leaving the colored pigment behind. Water and solvent-based stain traits. Dries fast, about 15 to 30 minutes, hundreds of available colors, easy to clean up, requires a top coat, and may cause the grain to raise. Water and solvent-based stains is used in the majority of time in woodworking because it's fast and user-friendly. It's typically applied with brush or cloth, but can be sprayed on. Use it for moldings, trim, and cabinets, followed up with a film-forming top coat of your choosing. Oil-based stain. Penetrates deeply, it adds color without raising the grain. It doesn't always require a film-forming top coat to protect wood. It says film-forming top coat, that's your lacquers and lacquers and varnishes. Oil-based stain allows for more workable time than solvent or water-based stain before it dries. Oil-based stain traits. Oil-based stain can require up to 72 hours or more to dry. It can be recoated at regular intervals, such as every 6 months, to renew the finish. Brings out deeper, more pronounced patterns in color than solvent or water-based stains. Won't produce a hard surface when used without a top coat. So your top coats are what might give it that longevity. Used oil-based stain for traditional finish on furniture or wherever you want an old school finish, followed up with a coat of paste wax for a delicate finish. Don't worry about too much with that paste wax, it's just more. Top coats, your lacquer and varnish are film-forming top coats used to protect and add luster to the wood and are typically applied over stain after it's dry. Sometimes referred to generically, lacquer and varnish are not the same thing. Varnish is made from oils and resins, lacquer is solvent-based. So those are the biggest differences. There may be questions on that, like when would be the best time to use a lacquer or when would be the best time to use a varnish. We go over the pros and cons of each. Not so much the cons, we just go over the descriptions. Lacquer traits, dries fast, is typically applied with spray equipment. Can be recoated within about 15 minutes. 2 coats of lacquer are typically sufficient to protect wood. Lacquer has minimal water resistance. Use lacquer for speedy, durable finish that's easy to apply on interior woodworking, cabinets, moldings, and trim. Lacquer is not suitable for exterior finish. So they may ask questions. You have exterior wood trim. What would be the best thing to use to bring up the color? And would, the answer obviously would be lacquer. Varnish is thicker than lacquer. Typically applied with a brush. Varnish requires 4 to 6 hours or longer to dry. Provides better overall moisture resistance than lacquer. Sometimes formulations of varnish are suitable for exterior use. Use varnish for an old school finish that imparts depth to flooring and specific specialty projects. Varnish can be used in place of lacquer on cabinets and trims, but it is time consuming. Question of durability is contentious. Varnish is more flexible than lacquer, moves with the wood, and is not as likely to crack as lacquer. Lacquer dries harder than varnish and will not dent or scuff as easily as varnish, but can crack, especially if you apply numerous coats. Okay? So just really the difference between them, you know what I mean, because they do get mixed up, but that's just the description of each. Any questions on that? So like for a floor, for example, so just that's something good to know is that the durability of varnish. It's more flexible than lacquer, moves with the wood. So like on a floor, you use more like a varnish.
Yeah.
And it can give it like it hardens the wood in some cases. The thing is, the different variations of all of these. So these are kind of the 3 main ones, but with different variations. Like there'd be varnishes with certain that are added lacquer traits. You know what I mean? But for the sake of the test, these are kind of the main ones.
Can you get a company just to come quickly lacquer a set of cabinets that are already installed or something like that, or is it?
I would think so. Yeah, like you can get companies that refinish cabinets.
Yeah.
Well, just because the lacquering is so much quicker than varnishing.
Yeah.
And varnishing, like any dust that gets in the room for that
Yeah.
3 or 4 hours after you put it down.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
Okay, any questions on that one? Pretty basic, just like it's just a page and a half, but it's just something, you know, you read it over once or twice and you got it in your head.
Yeah. And if you've used it, you know.
Yeah, if you use it, yeah, exactly. Okay guys, so what I'm thinking now is I'd like to go through and do the, give you guys the questions to do for this block. This block is block F. This is block E. Let's just take a look here. We're gonna hop back to the framing questions, it might be today or tomorrow, but we're gonna hop back to those, because some of them I'll do together with you guys, because they do reference the building code. So I've looked up each table that they have, and they have those, so I'm just trying to figure out a way that we can all try to look something up in the building code, you know what I mean?
I'm glad it's a try.
Pretty straightforward. Block E.
E or D?
So 409.
You guys wanna do block F, just while it's fresh in your head, that's what we did this morning, that's interior finish.
Where is it?
2409. You probably know that.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, 409, yeah.
I don't know.
There you go. Question one.
Yeah, let's focus on that. Okay.
So we pretty much, this one, I know some of the other ones, we didn't have, some of the questions we didn't go over every single one. But in this one, I'm pretty sure we went over everything in the last couple of days.
Yeah.
What was the last, what was the last day?
The first question, that seems pretty
This is one
awful.
of those trick questions. It's even like-
Yeah. What's this one? I don't need a lot of them.
A couple things on fire separation in here we didn't go over yet. But just do your best to guess, and then I can review it with you.